Do not hesitate. In Russia, there are wheeled vehicles not worse than the American ones. Alas, these are not cars and trucks. But the comparison of the Russian armored personnel carrier with its direct foreign competitor does not seem to be in favor of the American. In 2013, the Russian armored personnel carrier BTR-82A with an 8x8 wheel was put into operation. It is made by an engineering plant in Arzamas. It is a thorough modernization of the BTR-80, which has served in the Russian army since 1986. This should not be confusing. Compared to its predecessor, the 82nd has a more powerful engine, higher performance, launch efficiency, survivability, and resource. Weapons, sights, communications, surveillance, and guidance equipment have improved. The anti-fragmentation and mine protection of the crew and the landing force has been strengthened, and an autonomous diesel generator has been installed to power the parking systems. It can hardly be called the latest fashion. Infantry armored personnel carrier M1126 STRYKER, adopted by the U.S. Army in 2003, manufactured by General Dynamics Land Systems. At the heart of STRYKER is the Canadian LAV III, adopted in 1999. But that's not the whole family tree. The roots of development. MOWAG Piranha III H 8x8, representative of the family of Swiss multi-purpose armored vehicles, born in 1994. If you dig even deeper, it turns out that the sonorous name of Piranha and the firstborn of the family appeared in 1972. That is, the battle with the concepts continues from the Russian BTR-60 70s. As you can see, there is no obvious leader in novelty designs. The location of the STRYKER is considered a classic for this type of military equipment. Right front in the direction of travel engine compartment. It has a diesel engine and a Caterpillar gearbox, 6-speed Allison automatic. To the left of the power unit is a control compartment with a driver's seat. Behind the driver on the right is the commander's seat. In the middle and behind, the landing party. Landing is done through the rear doors and hatches in the roof of the hull. The weapon is located in a remote-controlled module above the commander's seat. The BTR-82A is designed differently. The control compartment is located in the front part, landing, combined with a fight in the middle, motor transmission, in the rear of the hull. The gearbox is a 5-speed manual, which is better in terms of ability and maintenance of the country than the American version with automatic. The CAMA's diesel engine is slightly lower in power than its American competitor. But in terms of such an indicator as power density, cars are very close. The landing from the Russian armored personnel carrier takes place through side doors, and there are hatches on the roof. The weapon is mounted in a remotely controlled machine gun and cannon. You can endlessly weigh the pros and cons of competing layout schemes, but BTR argues for scrap in the form of heavy traffic, and not just the aforementioned difference in gearboxes. The Russian armored personnel carrier is equipped with solid all-wheel drive and, most importantly, forced locking differential locks. The predecessor, BTR-80, had only standalone units. The American M1126 is not equipped with such an off-road arsenal. He lost another nomination. The depth of the ford at STRYKER is 1.2 meters. Not bad. But the Russian armored personnel carrier is swimming at a speed of 9 km/h using a jet propulsion device. He lost another nomination. The depth of the ford at STRYKER is 1.2 meters. Not bad. But the Russian armored personnel carrier is swimming at a speed of 9 km/h using a jet propulsion device, including the sea and even with a little excitement. And overseas designers have sacrificed buoyancy in an attempt to book a better car. In vain. Formally, the security of the STRYKER crew is higher. In any case, the features of the M1126 always emphasize this. But attaching an additional ceramic layer of MEXAS to the steel bumper does not make the car easier and, alas, does not turn it into a tank. The protection does not become an unconditional anti-shell. And the tasks of the lightly armored personnel carrier are not tank at all, delivery of motorized rifles to their destination and fire support. His hobbies are mobility, speed, maneuverability, buoyancy. And it is a sin in the name of insignificantly strengthening the defenses, degrading some properties, and completely abandoning others. A compromise is needed here. The Russian armored personnel carrier is closer to him. It is not overloaded with armor. It was and remains armor resistant, and in the form of additional side protection, the interior is covered with anti-shaking Kevlar panels, and the floor inside is covered with powerful mats. This is an increase in mine protection. If we compare the weapons, the BTR-82A will get the sides of the M1126. The transporter from the United States has either an M240 machine gun, a Browning M2 heavy machine gun, or a MiG-19 automatic grenade launcher, a coextensive machine gun PKTM, and a 30-2, a 72 30mm rapid-fire fire dynamo stabilized in 2 airplanes, are installed in the module of the Russian machine, a solid set for a smoothly armored labor force carrier. With similar munitions, you can't only deal successfully with the Stryker, but also with heavier armored vehicles.